Alright, so that was Do Not Disturb, an episode that was almost as disturbing as the Witabits. So I will go ahead and I will say what I liked, what I didn't like, and then I will give it a score. So starting with what I didn't like, man, this episode gave me some serious Buster vibes. As in, I've never been too much of a fan of outright gross humor, and it wasn't really outright because growing up, we had the likes of like Ren and Stimpy, Cow and Chicken, stuff like that, things that were more on the more grotesque side of things. But this one is just like, I don't know, I've never been a fan of drooly, snotty characters, and it's just like, just facial mess and goo and stuff like that kind of messes me up, and it's like, this is the only thing that kind of grosses me out, and I've seen like crazy stuff, but it's just like, when I saw that, I was like, oh boy, getting bustery vibes. So the Witabits themselves are not too bad, and when you get used to their stupid derpy faces, it's just when they get the drool and the snot going that it's a little too much for me. What else did I not like about this episode? What's his face? Vestivius Beaver, became kind of a nuisance this one. Though it's kind of more or less how it's played out in real life whenever there's an endangered animal and you got the endangered, like, wildlife association people going nuts and stuff like that. Like, there's a group of deadly poison possums up on my roof and they're eating it and they're destroying my house. Well, they made a nest there, and they're endangered, so you can't move them. You're just gonna have to move to an apartment until they leave. And it's like, you know, you've seen that stuff before. It actually happens in real life all the time. What else? Is there anything else in this episode I didn't particularly care for? I guess it would just be that love is ugly. That's what it is. There's a lot of references in this episode, and I guess I'll move on to the good things I actually did like. So the good things I actually liked about this episode is if you're picking up airplane audio right now, just ignore it. What I did like about this episode, I like that there was a Sonic and Tails episode. I like them as friends. I gotta state that again, as friends. I like them as a kind of brotherly friendship bond character. Like, those two are just like, when you think of, like, what's the best friends in, like, gaming and stuff like that, you always think Sonic Tails are usually up there. I'm trying to think of other best friends in gaming, but I can't really at the moment, like, off the top of my head, and that's bad. But yeah, Sonic and Tails are like, they are the go-to, like, brotherly duo. So it's nice to see them have interactions, and it was a little bit nice to see them have a bit of a disagreement. Though I guess that happens in real life too, how best friends will tend to move in with each other even if it's just for a temporary thing, and it's like, you know, you like each other as friends when you're not, how do I explain this? When you're not constantly with each other, when you're like, you know, you see each other, you hang out a little bit, then you both go home, go your separate ways, you get that moment to refresh. But when you're just constantly with each other as friends, it can kind of become a little more annoying, and you know, you start to see the negative aspects of your friend a lot more the longer you spend time with them. That's not for everybody, but it's just in general, you know, you do need to have that time away from each other, because, you know, they're not your family. You don't really get to, it's different. What else did I like about this episode? There were a lot of references here, as usual. There was the tan arm joke at the beginning. There was... Oh, hang on. Before I get to any of that, I just want a moment. I just want a pure moment of awesomeness for Knuckles just batting away the nigh indestructible Ballbot and just having like a, nah, I give no shits about your indestructibleness, Eggman. Like, Knuckles is... He's great in like Season 2. He seems to be like, even though he gets the business in his own episodes, he does seem to be having a better time around showing off his strength. As in the past few episodes, he's been really knocking shit out in more ways than one. What else? I don't know. This episode had a pretty decent arc in it. You know, it started off kind of weird, but, you know, and then they had everything work its I'm at a loss for words here because it's just like, I feel conflicted. On one hand, I kind of didn't like the grossness of the Witabegas, what we call them. On the other hand, I actually like the overall theme of, oh, hit the mic. I like the overall theme of brotherly love. So, I give this episode, there were some really strong moments, but overall the episode was just kind of average. But those strong moments are really good. I will give this episode a 8.1 out of 10. That feels about right. That seems about right where I want this episode to sit on my sliding scale of Sonic Boom episodes, which is constantly changing, I may add. But other than that, let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Leave a comment below, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the World Free Access for more videos like this one if you haven't already. I feel there are some obvious references I could have made in this one, but you know what? I think I'm about done here. So, in the meantime, guys, I will see you all next time. So stay tuned.
Order up for Sonic?
I think you mean Sonic.
No, it says Sonic right here.
This may take a minute.
The police car is at the fire station. The fire truck's at the airport. The airplane's on top of the restaurant. People are hanging out of windows. Buildings are moved. And you've completely taken apart City Hall.
Chucky, in my house, we do stuff like this all the time.
My house, my house, my house. Let me tell you something.